Doing the parade right now, I will call you back.
Recording has begun.
Well, Mike, after a year off, we are back. Homecoming 2021 is here, and of course, it's time for the Lincoln University Parade.
Yeah, we're very excited about the Lincoln University Homecoming Parade. Is always the most exciting parade in Jefferson City.
We are excited, and of course, we always begin a parade with Jefferson City's finest, and so we are going to get underway here in just a few minutes, but Jefferson City's finest is clearing out. Of course, we run right here under Highway 50, and so there's a little bit extra work to this sort of parade because we have to make sure that the highway is closed, including the city streets.
So either we have the beginning of the parade or somebody's in trouble.
Yeah, very slowly in trouble, though.
Yeah.
We also have in the parade this year the Lincoln University Police Department. It's a great department under the direction of Police Chief Gary Hill, and so the Lincoln University Police Department is leading the parade as well. And our Grand Marshals this year, we're lucky enough to have three Grand Marshals this year. Since we didn't have a homecoming last year, our reunion class last year would have been the class of 1970. So this year's reunion class, we're going to celebrate our Grand Marshal, Miss Sandra Allen, with the class of 1970.
Of course, the Allens, a great family, Lincoln University family, Jefferson City family.
Yes. And so then our actual 50th anniversary this year would be the class of 1970, and that is going to be Dr. Richard Pressberry, and looks like riding along with him is his wife, Mrs. Iva Pressberry. So another great Lincoln University family that we're happy to celebrate this year.
Well, I remember when Brian and Andrew Pressberry were students at Lincoln University on the track team.
So the Pressberry name is definitely well associated with Lincoln University.
Oh, yes.
And our third Grand Marshal, and we are absolutely fine with her taking her time, our third Grand Marshal is Miss Wieda Talbert. She was an instructor of English here at Lincoln University many, many years ago and is absolutely one of the sweetest ladies that you will ever meet outside of the classroom. It is my understanding that as an English professor, she was not somebody that you wanted. And I don't want her to listen to this broadcast because I am not certain that my grammar is good enough. And so I don't want her to correct me. But actually this year she is one of our Grand Marshals. She's riding with her sorority, members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She is celebrating 75 years as a member of that organization.
Wow, 75 years. She's such a wonderful person.
She is one of the sweetest people, and so we're glad to have her as our Grand Marshal in this year's parade. And she's wearing a crown, and she definitely does deserve that crown.
If anyone deserves that crown, it's Mrs. Talbert, for sure.
Our Lincoln University Board of Curators are in the parade as well this year, and they've decided to walk out and hand out some candy. It looks like we have Curator President Mr. Victor Pasley and Curator Terry Rackers handing out some candy, and that, of course, is the best part of the parade, is getting some candy. And I don't know why they always forget about us, Mike. They never bring candy over to us.
It's really sad.
It is definitely sad.
Because I know they can see us.
Another great group of people. This, of course, is our interim president, Dr. John B. Mosley. And Dr. Mosley is actually walking there behind the vehicle. And he's got one of his good friends, Elijah Mayfield, walking with him. Elijah Mayfield is one of our basketball coaches, or he helps with the basketball program, one of our basketball managers. And there on the truck, of course, are First Lady Mosley and his wife and his daughter, Jillian, as well. Then we have Mr. Richard Cross. We have Mr. Richard Cross and one of our mentors that'll be helping with our students this year. And Mayor Kerry Turgeon is joining us in the parade. Always exciting to see her in her father's 1999 Corvette. So we are excited to have her with us as well. Oh, we're taking a selfie with the mayor during the broadcast.
We just took a selfie with
Of
the
course
mayor.
we did.
Of course we did. And, you know, we complained about not getting candy.
There we go. Now we have all the candy.
We had
we have coming up the jewel of Lincoln University, the Marching Musical Storm. And I'm not going to try to talk over these guys, Mike. We're just going to let them do what they do. So the Marching Musical Storm is under the direction of Dr. Michael Johnson and Mr. Larry Newby. We're always excited to see the Marching Musical Storm. They performed earlier this year for the 200th Bicentennial Parade, and there were many bands in that parade, but I have it on good authority that they were one of the fan favorites.
Well, of course they were. I don't know if people can appreciate how much work members of the band go to be able to perform like this. They are practicing all week long.
They practice all week long, and they attend so many events on behalf of the university. They really are great university ambassadors. Behind the Marching Musical Storm, we have the Lincoln University Cheer Team, another group that attends many things on behalf of Lincoln University, and so we're excited to have them in the parade this year, and they've got a football game to get to after this.
Like the band, they help to bring the excitement to events that they attend.
Sure. Lincoln University ROTC, of course, we celebrate our ROTC program. Lincoln University was, of course, founded by veterans, so we definitely honor our ROTC program. And we have Miss ROTC featured, as well as some of the cadets. This is the Lincoln University National Alumni Association. We had a swearing in of officers yesterday. We have new National Alumni Association President Dr. Sherman Bonds. And Dr. Bonds is unable to be with us this morning, but he is still represented in the parade. So, or Dr. Bonds is actually there in the car. I couldn't see him because the sun was in my eyes a little bit, but Dr. Bonds is riding in the car.
Well, we're glad he was able to make it.
We are excited that he was able to make it. And then we have our National Alumni Association Vice President. This is Miss Cynthia Hardin Bowie as our National Association Vice President. So this group of Lincoln University alumni represent from all over the United States, and they are just extremely devoted to Lincoln University. Miss Kayla Allen actually works here at Lincoln University, but she is the National Alumni Association Secretary. She was also sworn in yesterday, and so we are excited to have the National Alumni Association represented.
So glad that they were all able to come back for homecoming, although Kayla, it wasn't a long trip.
She didn't have to come too far. So, and behind Kayla, we actually have Mr. Charles Glasper riding this beautiful motorcycle. He is the National Alumni Association Treasurer.
So he's got all the money in that motorcycle?
Yeah, that's probably there in the back.
Well, it looks like following him is the Missouri
Capitol Police. And so we are excited here in Jefferson City. We are fortunate to have so many law enforcement agencies. And so we partner with many of these agencies. If they need us, our Lincoln University Police Department goes to them, and if we need them, then they're able to come to us. So we are very excited to have Capitol Police participating this year.
Well, their chief, Zim Swartz, was a student of mine many years ago.
Wow. she's a great person.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like we have another performance group coming up here, Mike, and they are making their way down, but I know that hill they started on was a pretty steep hill, and they're still stepping high. Matter of fact, they are called the Gateway High Steppers Drill Team. They come to us from Kansas City, Missouri. Let's watch and listen. Very talented group of young men and young ladies, and they're stepping high, but their director is also stepping pretty high too, and so I got to tell you, I'm impressed because I'm not stepping very high at all on any given day.
Well, they are certainly living up to their name.
They are. Check your footwork, Mike. So we appreciate the talents of groups like the the Gateway High Steppers. They had to get up very early this morning to come in from Kansas City, Missouri to get to this parade at 9 o'clock. Also out of Kansas City, we have the Kansas City Classic Dream Car Club. These are some beautiful vehicles that they have worked very hard to keep in fantastic shape. What is that, a Cadillac?
Yeah.
That is gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
There's been some work done on
There
that.
has definitely been some work done. And this one here, look at the gold detail on this one. Fantastic. These are beautiful cars, and they have done a great job in taking care of these vehicles. That is what, a Crown Royale we just saw, and then this would be well, this is a Chevrolet, Mike. I'm not good with cars, but I know from the front of it that it's a Chevrolet. This is a Charger, isn't it? A Dodge Charger. Challenger.
Yeah.
This is a Challenger. Challenger, also a fantastic vehicle. Very, very much cleaner than the car that I have.
And you got the Dodge part right.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are very excited to have the Kansas City Classic Dream Car Club. Looks like we have the BCB Jawbreakers, and so we are excited to have Building Community Bridges participating with us this year.
What a great organization here in Jefferson City.
They have done such amazing things in the little bit of time that they have been in Jefferson City. Building Community Bridges has jumped in and just taken over in those areas where we definitely needed the help here in Jefferson City. So we're completely appreciative of the work they do, not only with the youth, but any family in need. They're just here to help, and so we appreciate Alicia Edwards and her team in bringing Building Community Bridges to Jefferson City, and we're glad to have them in the Lincoln University Parade.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it looks like next we got the Royal Tigerettes dance team.
So we might have a little more dancing happening here. Let's see, Mike. Looks like it.
Oh, yeah.
I almost wore the exact same outfit today, so I'm so glad I changed my mind.
Oh, that would have been so embarrassing.
It would have been embarrassing,
Yes.
but I can promise you that I would have just been sitting here wearing that outfit. I wouldn't have been showcasing it the way that these wonderful young men and young women are. So Actually, fun fact about this group.
Yeah?
So I just got married about a year ago, and this group performed at my wedding.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they performed right before I walked out, so they were part of my entry. So I have a special fondness for the Royal Tigerettes dance team.
Well, very good.
Royal Tigerettes dance team is under the direction of Miss Mecca Dixon. Mecca Dixon is actually an employee of Lincoln University. She also helps with the Lincoln University Marching Musical Storm, their flags and all of that. Mecca is just a very talented individual and a very good leader for young men and young women.
You bet. It looks like we have our first actual float in the parade, and it's the Lincoln University School of Nursing.
What a fantastic program, and our School of Nursing is known nationwide. One of the hardest programs that we have here at Lincoln University, but also one of the most successful programs we have here at Lincoln University. Our pass rate for our graduates is always near 100%, and when I'm saying that they get, not only do they get 100% on the test, but all of them pass the test. And so we are so thrilled with the Lincoln University nursing program.
Providing such a needed service these days. My
Certainly.
goodness. Well, and we have the LU Pre-Med Club coming up next.
Future doctors and future nurses there as well.
Yeah. You know, it hurts when I do this. You think they can help
Don't do
me?
that. This is Tompkins Health Center. This group is also fantastic. That is our university nurse, Twyla Kirby, and also the Director of Student Health Services, Lisa Wakehorst. And those two young women are fantastic at their jobs.
Boy, they really are.
Hey, it's the Aggies, the LU Aggies. This is Manners, the Ag Club, and FFA, and they call themselves Triad.
Triad, that's great.
Well, it looks like they have some goats, sheep.
Yep.
There's going to be
animals.
There's going to be a quiz on the animals.
Yeah.
Yes, they were at the petting zoo yesterday. We had a petting zoo on the quadrangle yesterday, and now they brought some out to be in the parade today. Lincoln University's Ag program is another one of our star programs here in at the university, and we are very excited for all of the research work that they do, and just making sure that we can further agriculture, not just here in the state of Missouri, but across the nation and the world.
Oh, you're right about that.
Gerb Superstore represented here in today's parade. I'm always excited to go to Gerb's, and I think Gerb's is pretty excited for me to visit because I never spend just $2 when I go there. So we're excited to have Gerb's participate in the parade.
And they're followed up by Dance Unlimited dance teams. So we have another dance team.
We have another dance
Gosh, how
team.
lucky we are
Look
this morning.
at this little tiny tot here in the front.
Oh, wow.
They start them early, and that's where the talent begins, when you can just barely walk. Teach them how to shake as well, because that's how you stay limber. I can tell you I didn't dance early enough, and so now I'm who I am. They're probably pretty tired. Oh, nope, they're going to do a little bit for us. Very talented group, Dance Unlimited dance team. And I got to tell you, it is early in the morning, and these kiddos get out here and they give it all they got.
Oh, yeah.
And then they continue on with their day like they're not exhausted. I'm tired watching them, but they continue on with their day. So
if I did this, I'm done for the
exactly. There is nothing else for me to give you.
They're a little smaller than the other dance groups that we've had, but they still have the same energy.
Their talent is just as big. After Dance Unlimited, we have the Lincoln University alumni. We have 19 chapters of alumni around the nation. This is the Jefferson City chapter.
Once again, they didn't have to come too
They
far.
didn't have to come too far, so they're saving a lot on gas. But the Jefferson City Alumni Chapter is led by Dr. Eric Burgess, who is actually the department head for the School of Business. Dr. Eric Burgess is the president of the Jefferson City Alumni Chapter. We also have their secretary, who is Kristen Wilson Bennett. She is their secretary, and she's driving along with alumni Adrian there. And then we have Miss Carolyn Cave with the Jefferson City Alumni Chapter. She is their treasurer. Miss Cave has always been a devoted Lincoln University alum and supporter.
It looks like coming up next we have Central Bank.
They're handing out something.
they
I'm
are.
guessing that it's probably candy.
I was
for
hoping
them.
it was money.
I was hoping maybe they were handing out savings bonds or something, but it looks like it's candy this year, and we'll take that too.
Matt's dropped us off some candy. There we go.
We have another performing group. This is the Central High School Marching Blue Eagle Band. Let's see if they're going to do a little performance for us, Mike. Again, another performance group that's come to us all the way from Kansas City, Missouri. So parade lineup started at 7:30 this morning. So that you have to think about what time their day had to begin, and they're still giving it their all.
Well, and there's no telling when their day will end.
Correct. Of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated represented next. We're going to take another look at Central High School. They've decided to stop and give us a little bit more. So Mike, were you in a band?
I was not in a band. I was asked not to be because I have no talent.
I was actually in marching band in high school. I played the tenor saxophone. So it looks like Central High School is going to move on through the parade, and we are going to, actually all of these high schools that are participating in this year's parade, we're going to feed them lunch and have a good time with the students that have come in, so that hopefully they'll be in the marching musical storm here in the next few years. So
very good.
Some of those look pretty young, so probably freshmen, but we'll be excited to have them here in just a few years. The men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated are, no, this is Residential Life, I'm sorry, that's passing by in the truck. And then we have the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. These are actually the Chris's Fry. Both of them are Chris Fry. And so father and son there representing Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Looks like Chris Dawson, he was very famous here in Jefferson City for his basketball skills, and Mr. Elton Frazier. This is Most Worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Masons out of Missouri, and they have several vehicles here representing. We always have a good participation by the Masons.
Always good to see them at the
And they are,
parade.
yes, and so we are excited. Of course, like we said, we weren't able to host it last year, and so as soon as we announced that there was going to be a parade this year, they were one of the first entries that we had, and so we are very excited to have them back with us, always well represented, and we are glad to have them with us again this year. We have more Prince Hall Masons. This is the Prince Hall Masonic family, continuing to be well represented.
It's really been a beautiful day for a parade.
It has been a great day for a parade. You know, earlier this week it was cloudy and whatnot, and today has turned out very sunny and gorgeous, and the weather right now is great. I understand that when we get to the football game this afternoon, full pads are probably not going to be comfortable for the team, but hopefully they're still going to bring home a Blue Tiger win.
Well, fortunately, we won't be wearing full pads.
We will not be wearing full pads, and I might actually be watching it from inside the air conditioning. So this is the Harmony Grand Order chapter of the Eastern Star, and so we are excited to have them participate with us this year as well. And that's one of my old high school classmates, Miss Angela Buckhall, back there in the back.
Well, all
excited
right.
to see her. So this is the Order of the Eastern Star. These next three vehicles are the Order of the Eastern Star. They're the Boone chapter number 87 out of Jefferson City, Missouri. And immediately behind the Order of the Eastern Star, we have another great community organization that is very, very important, and excited to have it right here on the Lincoln University campus. Just a few years ago, we were able to build the Boys and Girls Club of Jefferson City on the Lincoln University campus, and the great things that have happened over at the Boys and Girls Club. All three of my kiddos are club kids, and we are excited to have the club here on campus and here in Jefferson City.
Really providing a very valuable service here in Jefferson City.
Everything that they do, from the after-school program to the dinners that they provide. When we were on lockdown, they were still making sure that kids were able to eat because they knew how important that food program was to them. And so my kids go to summer camp there. It's just a great organization.
Really, really is.
And this is the Greater St. Louis Lincoln Alumni Chapter. St. Louis is one of our stronger chapters. They have many, many members in St. Louis, and of course our student population, a lot of them come to us from St. Louis, and that is, we're always excited to have them in the parade with us. So.
All right, well, have them send more kids.
Yeah, send more kids and throw more candy.
That's right. It looks like they have a few cars here.
Yeah.
The Greater St. Louis Lincoln University Alumni Chapter.
And this is the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Beta Chi Chapter. Another one of the great organizations that we have here on the Lincoln University campus. We have all 9 of the Greek letter organizations here on campus that are part of the National Panhellenic Council. And
all
these
Divine Nine.
Exactly, and these are the men of the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Beta Chi Chapter. And this is the Lincoln University Law Enforcement Training Academy. So the Lincoln University Law Enforcement Training Academy began in January of this year, and there are 3 future police officers right there in that vehicle, and I can tell you that 2 of those young men are related to me. So the one blowing the whistle, so I hope they take this away from him before he gets home to me, is my son.
Well, we have another band. Looks like this is Hazelwood.
Hazelwood out of St. Louis, Missouri. Looks like the Spartans, Hazelwood Spartans. Let's take a listen, see if they're going to perform. I always wanted to play the drums, but I was raised by my grandparents, so they were none too interested in me playing the drums. I chose the saxophone. I don't know if that appeased me at all, but my grandfather was a saxophonist, so. The Hazelwood East Spartans out of St. Louis, Missouri.
The East Hazelwood High School, or Hazelwood East High School, yes.
These are the men. Nope. Well, so we have some floats combined. We have some men from Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, but we also have housing and residential life represented. And then we're back to the men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. The men of Omega Psi Phi are represented by young men who are currently students, and then we have alumni that come back every year and participate and relive their college days as members of the fraternity.
Well, all right. We're glad to have them back.
The men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. This is Talon Life Tactical, LLC. Talon Life Tactical is a Black Gun Owners Association.
It looks like they're followed up by Alibi Cookies.
Ooh, Alibi Cookies, warm cookie deliciousness. Are they handing out anything?
Boy, I wish they were.
Man.
Boy, an Alibi Cookie would work real well right now.
I gotta tell you, a warm cookie, and you don't have to tell me about deliciousness. I already know that when you say cookie. Dr. Dick Dalton, of course, was a longtime Lincoln University professor and is still very involved with the university and is an activist, and so we're always glad to have Dr. Dalton with us.
He's carrying or riding around with his Earth flag, as he often does.
Yes, and it looks like he is leading the International Students Association.
Oh, we have students from so many countries here at Lincoln University, and they participate in so much. They're athletes, and they're very, very talented and very intelligent.
Yes. So it looks like we have Mr. and Miss International in the back of the truck there, but then we just have international students that are walking along. Lincoln University is one of the most diverse institutions in the state of Missouri, and we are so glad to have all of these countries represented. This is Barnhouse Power Sports, and they have brought several motorcycles along with them. Barnhouse Power Sports sells Harleys, Mike. And
really?
So we are excited to see a large group of motorcycles represented here today.
And look at all the different types of motorcycles. My goodness.
These are fantastic.
Now,
if I rode a motorcycle, I would definitely get a Harley.
I would definitely get one with 3 wheels.
Yeah, like this one right here, these Can-Ams, that would be something that I feel like I could ride on.
Yeah.
I need a tricycle. Let's not pretend.
Well, they brought quite a number of motorcycles today.
They did bring quite a few motorcycles with them today. Man, these are some beautiful bikes, though. Very impressive. People who ride motorcycles take very good care of their motorcycles, and these are amazing. And loud, but amazing.
Very loud.
I love a motorcycle until they decide to leave the neighborhood in the middle of the night, and then not so much fun.
Then they're not your favorites anymore.
No, not anymore. But these are great, great bikes, and very excited that Barnhouse was able to participate this year.
Barnhouse Power Sports.
So behind Barnhouse Power Sports, I don't know if this was intentional, but we have Tobin's Towing. So if anything goes wrong with any of these bikes, Tobin's Towing will be able to help them out. So.
They can put, 3 or 4 of them on their tow
They
truck.
certainly can, and we're glad to have Tobin's participate with us in this year's parade as well. We have so many great business partners, and so we're always excited to have any of our local businesses participate in the homecoming parade. We love seeing the floats, we love seeing groups like Barnhouse and the bands and all of that, but having our local businesses show their solidarity with Lincoln University is also important to us as well.
They make their presence known. Did you see all the little ones riding?
There were a lot of little ones. You get them started early on loving bikes,
That's
and
right.
then they're safe when they get older. So, like we said, Tobin's Towing is another great partner of Lincoln University, and what a cutie
What a
riding
cutie.
in that one. Looks like we have the Dallas Fort Worth Metro Alumni Chapter also participating as well.
We got a
They're
lot of great
throwing out candy.
alumni in that area.
We do have a lot of alumni in that area.
And there's a beautiful dog.
There is, and that beautiful dog's back again.
That's right.
So this is the Walk to End Alzheimer's. That walk is actually tomorrow. Great group. Alzheimer's, of course, is a very tragic disease, but they are doing what they can to fund research and make sure that it doesn't have to change people's lives anymore.
It looks like next we have the Jamie Foxx Studio Showstoppers.
This is the JC Showstoppers unique drill team, and I am certain they are going to perform. So Mr. Jerry Morgan there in the front used to be a Lincoln University drum major, and then once he got out of school, he decided to start his own drill team. And you just wait, because I know that he is going to do some steps with them, and he still has it just like he was still in college with us.
So they are going to stop the show.
Looks like it. So the JC Unique Showstoppers drill team. They're going to perform for us, it looks like. The JC Unique Showstoppers, a group of young men and young women from right here in Jefferson City under the direction of Mr. Jerry Morgan. And they start them early, and they will be able to go on to dance programs wherever they want to, and we're so excited to have them in the Lincoln University Homecoming Parade. They're another one of those entries that we do have on a pretty regular basis. I can tell you, Mike, if I get down like that, I'm staying. They're great. The JC Unique Showstoppers. Here's Jerry Morgan that I told you about. Mr. Morgan used to be, like I said, one of the drum majors for the Lincoln University Marching Musical Storm.
He still got it.
He definitely still has it. So the one like stretchy move, that's what I do when I get out of bed in the morning, but it ends after that. I got nothing else.
Is it that dramatic when you do
it?
It
is that dramatic, because who wants to get out of bed that early in the morning? The JC Unique Showstoppers. So this is the Campus Activity Board. The Campus Activity Board is the group that plans all of the homecoming events. And so we are so grateful for the Campus Activity Board for making a week's worth of activities enjoyable for our faculty, staff, and students.
Well, no wonder there's so many great things going on with the energy that they bring.
And they have been like this all week. They're probably going to crash tomorrow, but they've been like this all week. Grateful for the Campus Activity Board and all their great ideas.
It looks like we're coming to the end of the parade.
We are coming to the end of the parade, but you can't have a homecoming parade without homecoming royalty.
That is correct.
And so this year, Mr. and Miss Lincoln University and their royal court are represented as the end of this year's Lincoln University Homecoming Parade.
Wow, they're really dressed up for the parade.
They are. They are a lovely group of young men and young women, and they are wonderfully talented, every single one of them, and we are so glad to have them here as students of Lincoln University.
And with more of the police here, it looks like we have reached the end. How about there's Stephanie Clark? We have reached the end of the Lincoln University Homecoming Parade.
So it's been another great year for Lincoln University Homecoming. I'm going to run along and get to a football game, but we are so very excited to have made it to Homecoming 2021, Mike. It's been a great year. We were concerned, of course, going into this year that homecoming was going to be something that we were going to have to cancel again this year, but we decided there were ways that we could definitely do it safely. So we're glad that homecoming was back. We're glad that homecoming is on, and we're glad to have done the parade again this year.
Oh, we absolutely are. We want to thank everybody who's participated in the parade and everybody who's watching the parade right now.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and happy homecoming.